In this lesson, we're going to be talking about numbers. All right, so we've already learned about strings. Now we're moving on to numbers. And when we're talking about numbers, there's three types of numbers that Python allows us to use. There's going to be an integer, there's going to be floating point numbers, and then you have complex numbers. And really, we're only going to focus on the integers and the floating point numbers in this lesson here. Complex numbers are going to be more or less the imaginary numbers, if you remember that back in algebra. But we're going to focus on the integers and the fixed point numbers. So let's go ahead and dive into Visual Studio Code here. And what we're going to see here as far as our setup, we're in Python underneath lessons, and inside there we're under numbers.py. All right, so here are some notes. Again, we're dealing with numbers. I told you that there's three types. What are the differences in the integers versus floating points? Well, integers are going to be dealing with whole numbers, and this can be positive or negative. If you think about a whole number, we're talking about there's no decimal points, there's no fractions. It's just going to chop it right off, and we're not going to have any kind of decimals. Floating point numbers, that is going to be with decimals. So this can be with decimals, and we're also going to deal with fractions as well with this. Complex numbers, again, that's going to be numbers with real and imaginary parts. So real and imaginary parts that would be involved with this one. So understanding how these types allow you to perform different mathematical operations will definitely help you out here. So let's take a look first at integers. So when it comes down to the integers, we are talking again about no decimal points, and this can be positive or negative. So for example, we'll have a positive integer, we'll have that set to 10. We'll do a negative integer, and that's how we can represent a negative number, which is just a minus sign in front of the number. So again, integers, they're precise. There's absolutely no accuracy when representing whole numbers, but they can also represent large numbers as well, and we are only limited by the machine's memory whenever we're utilizing these. Let's go ahead and talk about floats. So inside of floats are numbers with decimal points, allowing representation as far as fractionals. They can also be used for more precise calculations when it comes to the math, whenever we're trying to divide, right? So let's go ahead and show a few examples of what it looks like. So we'll do a positive float. We're going to set that equal to 10.4. Do a negative integer, and we'll do a negative 10.4. So again, these are going to be integers. Now, like I said, we're not going to talk about how we can make complex numbers. We just want to start off with the basics and the foundations with this. So if you are looking for complex numbers, we'll provide you with documentation and a little bit of examples below this video if you want to extend your reading when it comes to the complex numbers. Now, whenever we're talking about numbers, we can start doing math with it, right? And I think we've seen a couple instances so far with some of the early videos that you've watched with how you can do some arithmetic operations. And so with that being said, let's go ahead and do the following. Again, we're not looking for, are these variables nice and concise? We're just looking for main concepts with this. So we'll have an example here of A equals 10 and B equals 3. And so that way we can see what is going on when we're trying to do some math functions. So we'll do addition. So if we're ever adding two variables together that are numbers, we can represent that here. If we're looking at subtraction, all we have to do is put the minus sign in there. All right. Multiplication, we're not going to use an X in order to represent it. but we're going to utilize the star key. If we're looking for division, that's going to be the /. It's not a backslash, it's just a /. And that will divide the two numbers. And then as far as another one that we're going to utilize a lot is the modulus. So if we do a modulus, that's going to be the percent sign. And this might be something very new to you as far as what does the modulus mean. That just returns the remainder of the division. So if there's any type of remainder that comes out of this, so if we're doing 10 divided by 3, 3 goes in there 3 times with a remainder of 1, and so we can get a remainder. And later on in some challenges, this is the one that you're going to want to remember, all right? Because we're going to help you determine if a number's even or odd by checking out the remainder. Is the remainder 0? That means it can be evenly divided by that number, right? So a little note on here, this is the one that you're going to want to use and think about when we're talking about evens and odds. And then if we're ever looking to do exponential type of math, so we can do the exponential, and that's utilizing 2 asterisks on there. And that means this is going to be 10 to the 3rd power. That's what the double asterisks mean. All right, and we can go ahead, and if we want, we can print each one of these. So we can print the addition, we'll do the subtraction, multiplication, division, print the modulus, as well as the exponent. All right, let's go ahead and save that and run it. And we can now see that 10 plus 3 is 13. 10 minus 3 is 7, 10 times 3 is 30, and then notice that we do get this floating point here, 3 for the division, and then we also get for the modulus, it's the remainder of 1, and then the exponent 10 to the 3rd power, you get 1,000. All right, so various arithmetic operations that you can see that are performed there. All right, next we're going to talk about common number functions that you might want to think about when we're utilizing it. So that's going to be our next section here. So let's go ahead and talk about it. All right, as I said, let's go over some common number functions. But before I do that, I just noticed that I totally misspelled positive, and that kind of bothers me when I make the video. But anyways, we want this to be positive. So let me get rid of this, and we'll do the same thing down here. Even though we weren't referencing it, it's still highlighted blue for me, and that's a little spell check extension that I have on here. Positive, there we go. And I think that cleared it all up. I think I misspelled it up here as well. So anyways, some common number functions. Again, we may have to think back to our algebra days and stuff, but ES, right? That stands for absolute. It returns the absolute value. And in math, right, we were always taught that, hey, no matter if it's negative or positive, it's always going to give a positive result. So that is what the ABS does. And we can test this out here with, let's go ahead and just do a test number. And we're going to utilize minus 7.5. And down here, we can do absolute value, and we can put in the test number in there, and then of course we can print it to test this out, and then we're going to go ahead and run it, and notice that it did remove the negative sign on there. And again, I'm going to go ahead and expand this just a little bit so it's easier to read for you all. Next, we're going to try the round. So let's see what the round does for us. Round number, and then we're going to throw in our test number. So save that, and then let's go ahead and print it out, and then we're going to run it. Let's see what we get. We get -8. So you can see that it did round up. The other thing that we're going to try on here is, what if we wanted to make this an integer? And remember the difference between an integer as well as a float, right? Integers will just make it without the decimal point. So let's see what we get with that. Integer number. And let's go ahead and print the integer number, and we'll run this, and we get -7. So it didn't round it, it just chopped it off, right? And then of course, if we do a float, Let's see what happens when we do a float number. This time we're going to take integer number that we just got done, and then we're going to print it. Otherwise, we really wouldn't see that much of an effect over here, utilizing the float on our test number. So let's go ahead and let me scroll up for it and run it, and we get a negative 7.0. So it just added the .0 on there for us. So in conclusion here, whenever we're talking about numbers and performing math on it, it's just something extra to kind of think about. We need to understand the different types of numbers that we have. We need to practice more with our arithmetic. And again, we have some examples here, and then we're also going to throw in a challenge for you all to try. So make sure that you go through it to help solidify what we just learned with it. It's just going to take you practice getting through those numbers and the theory behind these. So we'll see you in the next video.